Hey guys, welcome back. If you're a cozy game fan, 2026 is literally the year we've been waiting for. The Switch and Switch 2 lineup is stacked. So let's count down the top 20 most anticipated cozy games you need to have on your radar right now. Village in the Shade. Okay, so imagine Stardew Valley, but set in a Japanese mountain village, and something about it just feels off. That's Village in the Shade for you. Made by Nippon Ichi Software, the studio behind Disgaea, this is their first crack at a life sim, and honestly, it looks gorgeous, with a hand-painted art style that feels straight out of a Ghibli movie. You play as a young person who gets lost in the mountains and ends up being taken in by the village of Kagatsu. To stay, you have to work, so you're farming, fishing, raising livestock, making furniture, and building relationships with the locals through seasonal events like cherry blossom viewing and summer festivals. Sounds super peaceful, right? Well, the village has a few rules. Never talk to strangers, never leave the village boundaries, and absolutely do not go outside after dark. This one drops in fall 2026 in the West, but Japan gets it July 30th, 2026. Moomintroll, Winter's Warmth. The game already has a demo out right now if you want to try it. Moomintroll, Winter's Warmth comes from Hyper Games, the same team behind Snufkin, Melody of Moomin Valley, which was a fan favorite. This one isn't a direct sequel, more of a spiritual successor, so you don't need to have played the first game. It's based on Tove Janssen's book Moominland Midwinter, and the story starts when Moomintroll wakes up too early from hibernation and finds Moomin Valley completely transformed by winter. He's never experienced winter before, everyone he knows is still asleep, and the whole landscape is now under the frosty grip of something called the Lady of the Cold. It's been described as a roughly 7-hour experience, short but cozy and complete. The art is handcrafted and absolutely beautiful. It launches April 27th, 2026 on Switch, Switch 2, and PC. The Witch's Bakery is made by French indie studio Sunnylab, and it's heavily inspired by Kiki's Delivery Service and Persona 5, which is a wild combination that somehow works perfectly. You play as Lune, a young witch who just moved to Paris and opens up her very own bakery. But she has a special power. She can literally see into people's hearts and heal their emotions through magic. The game is split into 3 phases. Each day, daytime is all about running the bakery, serving customers, and managing your little team. Evening is when you explore Paris, build friendships, and actually dive into your friends' troubled emotional states to help them. Then at night, you rest, decorate your bakery, and practice your magic. It's got this rhythm to it that feels really satisfying. The 2D art style is stunning. Very anime, very Parisian, very cozy. It's landing Q2 2026 on Switch, Switch 2, PS5, Xbox, and PC. Wylde Society is the prequel to Wildflowers, a game that won Apple Arcade's Game of the Year back in 2022 and built up a really devoted fanbase. This one is made by the same Melbourne-based team, Studio Drydock, and it takes you back to the island of Fairhaven, but 100 years in the past, at the turn of the 20th century. You're playing as Vivian Wylde, who is a witch, a socialite, and an innkeeper. The farm tools and overalls from Wildflowers are completely gone here. Now it's fine china, elegant gowns, and a magical boarding house you get to build, run, and customize. Your job is to invite tenants, host lavish tea parties and fancy balls, play matchmaker around town, and conduct seances to help restless spirits with their unfinished business. The game has branching choices that let you influence relationships and even the town's reputation. Hela comes from Wind Up Games, which is a studio made up of former developers from the Unravel series. So these people know how to make beautiful, emotional games. And Hela is exactly that. You play as a tiny, agile mouse, the magical familiar of a kind witch who has spent her whole life healing the local village and wildlife. Now, she's fallen ill, and it's up to you to venture out into the Scandinavian-inspired open world to find what's needed to heal her. The game blends exploration, foraging, puzzle solving, potion brewing, and light action, and it can all be played solo or with up to 4 friends in local split screen or online co-op. One of the coolest mechanics is the Froggy Backpack, which gives your mouse a frog tongue grapple tool you can use to swing through trees, pull objects into place, build bridges between players, or lasso forest creatures to hitch a ride. Coming to Switch 2 in 2026. Outbound is one of those games that just clicks immediately. When you see it, you start with an empty camper van and you turn it into your dream home on wheels. That's the whole vibe. It's set in a utopian near future where there's no danger, no pressure, just a colorful open world full of diverse biomes to explore. You scavenge materials, build and craft using a modular system directly on and inside your van. Set up gardens, grow mushrooms, cook food, and power everything using solar panels, wind turbines, or water. Actual, sustainable living mechanics baked right into the gameplay. The more you upgrade your van, the further you can push into new landscapes. You can play the whole thing solo or bring up to 4 players into co-op, whether local or online. This is the kind of game you just sink into for hours without realizing it. It's out April 23rd, 2026 on Switch, Switch 2. Japanese rural life adventure launched on Switch March 5th, 2026. The game is a slow life sim set in a traditional Japanese village done entirely in beautiful pixel art. You move into an old countryside house that needs fixing up, clearing weeds, repairing the shoji screens, getting the yard in order. From there, you grow crops, make your own rice, brew soy sauce and miso from scratch, fish, catch bugs, and cook around an irori hearth. Every season brings different activities: cherry blossom viewing in spring, festivals in summer, roasted sweet potatoes in fall, temple bells ringing in winter. Villagers bring you side quests: restore an old water wheel, help reopen a candy shop, and as you help them, new areas of the village open up. There's over 100 hours of content here, no combat, and zero pressure. It's just pure, quiet, everyday life in rural Japan. Animula Nook is genuinely one of the most visually impressive cozy games announced in years, and it's free to play, which makes it even more exciting. Developed by Lilylandia Games under Tencent, the premise is that you've somehow shrunk down to a tiny size, and now a desk in someone's bedroom is your entire world. Everyday objects become massive landscapes. A coffee mug is a towering structure. A bookshelf is a mountain range to explore. You build your homestead out of odds and ends, grow crops in flower pots, collect resources like raindrops, sunlight, and wind to use in crafting, and befriend a cast of tiny, whimsical residents called minis. Activities include things like teacup sailing, cheese skating, and glider expeditions, all designed around being the size of a toy. You can also form musical bands with other characters and share your world online with friends through cross-platform multiplayer. Trade Tales is one of the most ambitious, cozy life sims I've seen in a long time, and it's made by a small Filipino indie team called Brick Geek Games, which makes it even cooler. The game drops you into the town of Cloverdale after you win a small farm lot in a lottery, and from there, literally anything goes. You can farm, fish, mine, raise animals, open a shop, run a food cart, manage a factory that turns your crops into branded products, or just become a social media influencer inside the game. There's an in-game smartphone with working apps, social media, maps, an online shop, a stock market, and you can post photos, gain followers, and earn in-game currency based on the likes you get. You can also travel to other cities once you've saved enough money, build relationships with NPCs, fall in love, get married, and start a family. InKonbini is developed by Tokyo-based Nagai Industries, and it's set in a small-town Japanese convenience store in the early 1990s. You play as Makoto Hayakawa, a college student who takes a break from studies to help her aunt run the store while she's away. The gameplay is built around the quiet rhythm of Konbini life, stocking shelves, organizing displays, scanning goods at checkout, making phone calls, ordering new products. But between all of that, customers come in with lives and stories of their own, and your conversations with them through branching dialogue choices slowly reveal a rich, interconnected neighborhood. The way you treat each regular, what you say, what you notice about them, it all shapes relationships and affects their stories. The ASMR-focused sound design apparently makes the whole thing feel incredibly calming. Physical editions are available to pre-order, and it drops April 30th, 2026 on Switch, Switch 2. Tomodachi Life series is finally back, and honestly, the hype around this is massive. It's a first-party Nintendo game where you create me characters based on yourself, your friends, your favorite celebrities, literally anyone, and then watch them live their chaotic, unpredictable little lives on Yumian Island. You're not really playing a game in the traditional sense. You're more like a landlord of chaos who buys your Mii's food, clothes, and decorations while they fall in love, have dramatic fallings out, get married, and do absurd things you'd never expect. New to this entry, you actually have direct control over which Mii's interact, rather than waiting for random chance to do the work. Island customization has been expanded, and you can now house up to 70 Mii's. You can also share your island screen with friends via Switch 2's Game Chat feature, Moonlight Peaks. You're playing as a young vampire, specifically the child of Count Dracula, who's packed their coffin and moved to the supernatural town of Moonlight Peaks to prove that the undead can live a life of compassion and creativity. The farming loop here is great. You grow magical cursed crops like nightshade and pumpkins, raise enchanted animals, including Draculams, brew potions, learn spells from local witches, and slowly expand your haunted homestead. The social side is huge too. The town has 7 distinct supernatural families with their own histories and secrets. And there are over 24 characters you can romance, from werewolves to mermaids to regular humans who have no idea what they've gotten themselves into. You do have to be back in your coffin before sunrise, which adds a nice rhythm to each day. This one launches July 7th, 2026, developed by Little Chicken Game Company. If you've played My Time at Portia or Sandrock, Evershine is the biggest entry in the series yet, and it's doing something genuinely different this time. Instead of being a builder or craftsperson, you're the governor of a brand new settlement called Evershine, right on the border near the expanding Duvos Empire. Your job is to build up an entire town from scratch, laying down infrastructure, recruiting settlers, assigning them tasks, and expanding your community into a real city-state. The world is 3D open, fully explorable, and you can glide around everywhere, which feels great. The RPG side is still very much present. Quests, dungeons, romance options, and a cast of characters who move in and grow with your settlement. For the first time in the series, the full story campaign can be played in co-op with up to 3 other players. Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. This is the one Nintendo first-party Switch 2 exclusive on this list, and it looks absolutely delightful. Yoshi is just chillin' one day when a talking encyclopedia named Mr. E falls from the sky. His pages are full of creatures he can't even read about, so Yoshi uses a magical magnifying glass to literally jump inside the book and help investigate. Each level is essentially a chapter of the book, and each chapter features a different creature with totally unique traits. You interact with these creatures using Yoshi's classic abilities, eating them, carrying them on his back, jumping on them, and every action you take reveals new characteristics that get recorded in the book. Some creatures make flowers bloom when you eat them, others blow bubbles, others do something completely unexpected. It's charming, chill, and a great fit for the Switch 2. Out May 21st, 2026. Tales of Seikyu. It's a farming RPG set on the hidden island of Seikyu, a sanctuary where yokai from Japanese folklore live freely in human form. You've returned to your ancestral home on this island, and it's your job to rebuild the old farmhouse, get to know the wild cast of residents, including a perpetually tipsy bar owner called Shuten Doji, a rebellious folklorist named Yoji, and a former mafia boss who now just loves fishing at his dock, and slowly unravel the island's deeper mysteries tied to ancient gods. The standout mechanic is the yokai transformation system. Using your Fox Clan heritage, you can shapeshift into different yokai forms with different abilities. Become a crow tengu to fly, dive as a slime, or till your farm as a boar. There's farming, fishing, cooking, dungeon exploring, boss battles, romance, and a seasonal festival system, all wrapped in a really beautiful anime art style. Solarpunk. You live on a world of floating islands in a technically advanced, eco-friendly future, and your goal is to build a self-sufficient life using only renewable energy. That means setting up solar panels, wind turbines, and water systems to power everything you build. You construct your home base, grow food, raise animals that coexist peacefully with you. Pigs dig up truffles if you treat them right. Craft gadgets and automate processes using transport drones. Each player also gets their own airship to explore surrounding islands and discover new resources. The whole thing can be played solo or in co-op with up to 4 friends. The art style is stunning, lush, warm, full of color. Cyberwave and Rocaplay are targeting 2026 for Switch 2, and a new reveal is coming at the III Initiative Showcase on April 9th, 2026. Loftia is developed by Cloud Games after a successful Kickstarter. It's set in a Solarpunk-themed world of floating islands, where you find your own personal island, set it up as your home, decorate it, farm it, and then connect with other players to form neighborhoods and contribute to community-wide projects. What makes the multiplayer loop click is that you're not competing, you're collaborating to unlock new resources, uncover hidden stories, and discover new islands together. The crafting system is really creative too, leaning into an upcycling theme where you repurpose old discarded materials into useful gear and furniture. Think turning an old tire into a flower planter. The beta just launched on Earth Day, April 22nd, 2026 for Kickstarter backers, and full early access is confirmed for mid to late 2026 on Switch and PC, with more platforms to follow. Starsand Island. The game is already in early access on Steam and Xbox since February 2026, but the full 1.0 launch, which is when the Switch and Switch 2 versions drop, is coming summer 2026, and that's also when multiplayer and romance will unlock. You're escaping city life to settle on a warm island paradise called Starsand Island, where you'll farm nearly 100 different crops, fish, raise animals, explore a mysterious moonlit forest, and hang out with adorable capybaras, dogs, and cats. The customization is deep. You can build and decorate your homestead using a modular DIY system, and there's an infinite color wheel for your character's hair, skin tone, and accessories. The full release will support up to 4 players online. The Switch 2 version specifically will support DLSS, mouse controls via Joy-Con, and game chat. Over 100 hours of content are planned.
Witchbrook has been in development for what feels like forever, but it's from Chucklefish, the publisher behind Stardew Valley, and everything they've shown looks so worth the wait. The game is set in Mossport, a vibrant seaside city with a witch's college at its heart. You move in as the newest student witch, and life is split between attending classes, practicing spells, taking exams, exploring the city, and building out your cozy woodland cottage. But Mossport is massive. We've seen the map now, and it's huge, covering dense forests, golden beaches, a lively high street, and loads of hidden areas. The magic system spans potion brewing, spellcasting, broom riding, growing and harvesting magical plants, and earning school badges through practice. The relationship system lets you make friends, fall in love, and help others chase their dreams on the road to graduation. It also supports up to 4 players in online co-op. Fields of Mistria is a farming RPG set in the town of Mistria, which was hit by a mysterious earthquake that drained the land of magic. You move in, rebuild your farm, repair the town, and slowly uncover what happened. The core loop is rock solid. Grow crops across 4 seasons, fish, catch bugs, mine, forage, cook, craft, and fight in dungeons using a skill tree and spell system powered by collected essence. The villagers all have real schedules, unique personalities, and over 5,000 lines of dialogue. And every Friday night, they gather at the local inn, and you're invited. Romance is gender neutral and genuinely well written. The Mines update has just dropped in early 2026, and the full 1.0 release with marriage, children, and the final story chapter is coming later in 2026. Console ports, including Switch, will be evaluated after 1.0 launches. And that's your top 20 most anticipated cozy games coming to Switch and Switch 2 in 2026. Which one are you most excited about? Drop it in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.